I'm just getting ready, by the way. Wait, hold on. Test, test. Okay, good. I was hearing myself double. Just give me a moment, I'm almost ready. I'm going to mute up while I get ready. Okay, I'm almost ready. Let me just get some water real quick, and then I'll start. Okay, so if this is your first time watching me, I struggle with a lot of pronunciation, so if that's a pet peeve of yours, good luck. Uh, but yeah, I'm just double checking everything's good, and then I'll start reading. Oh, the ads. I gotta limit the ads. That's why you double check. Okay, now the ads are at a minimum. Okay, I'll start reading now. Numbers 1. Registration of Israel's troops. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the tabernacle, in the wilderness of Sinai. On the first day of the second month of the year, he said, "From the whole community of Israel, record the names of all the warriors by their clans and families. List all the men, 20 years old or older, who are able to go to war. You and Aaron must register the troops, and you will be assisted by one family leader from each tribe. These are the tribes and the names of the leaders who will assist you. You guys can read that if you want. I don't know why they formatted it as a table, but we continue on. These are the chosen leaders of the community, the leaders of the ancestral tribes, the heads of the clans of Israel. So Moses and Aaron called together these chosen leaders, and they assembled the whole community of Israel on that very day, all the people who were registered according to their ancestry by their clans and families. The men of Israel who were 20 years old or older were listed one by one, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So Moses recorded their names in the wilderness of Sinai. This is the number of men 20 years old or older who were able to go to war, as their names were listed in the record of their clans and families. These were the men registered by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel, all listed according to their ancestral descent. They were registered by families, all the men of Israel who were 20 years old or older and able to go to war. The total number was 603,550. But this total did not include the Levites. For the Lord had said to Moses, "Do not include the tribe of Levi in the registration. Do not count them with the rest of the Israelites. Put the Levites in charge of the tabernacle of the covenant, along with all the furnishings and equipment. They must carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings as you travel, and they must take care of it and camp around it. Whenever it is time for the tabernacle to move, the Levites will take it down, and when it is time to stop, they will set it up again. But any unauthorized person who goes too near the tabernacle must be put to death. Each tribe of Israel will camp in a designated area with its own family banner, but the Levites will camp around the tabernacle of the covenant to protect the community of Israel from the Lord's anger. The Levites are responsible to stand guard around the tabernacle." So the Israelites did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Numbers 2. Oh, let me check chats. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done one of these streams. Or it at least feels that way. Checking chats, they all seem clear for now, but so I'll keep reading. Numbers 2. Organization for Israel's camp. Then the Lord gave these instructions to Moses and Aaron. When the Israelites set up camp, each tribe will be assigned its own area. The tribal divisions will camp beneath their family banners on all four sides of the tabernacle, but at some distance from it. The divisions of Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun are to camp towards the sunrise on the east side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of their tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of the registered troops. So the total of all the troops on Judah's side of the camp is 186,400. These three tribes are to lead the way whenever the Israelites travel to a new campsite. The divisions of Reuben, Simeon, and Gad are to camp on the south side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. So the total of all the troops on Reuben's side of the camp is 151,450. These three tribes will be second in line whenever the Israelites travel. Then the tabernacle carried by the Levites will set out from the middle of the camp. All the tribes are to travel in the same order that they camp. each in position under the appropriate family banner. The divisions of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin are to camp on the west side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the number of their registered troops. So the total of all troops on Ephraim's side of the camp is 108,100. These 3 tribes will be third in line whenever the Israelites travel. Then the divisions of Dan, Asher, and Naphtali are to camp on the north side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. So the total of all the troops on Dan's side of the camp is 157,600. These 3 tribes will be last, marching under their banners whenever the Israelites travel. In summary, the troops of Israel listed by their families totaled 603,550. But as the Lord had commanded, the Levites were not included in the registration. So the people of Israel did everything as the Lord had commanded Moses. Each clan and family set up camp and marched under their banners exactly as the Lord had instructed them. Let me get water and do my nasal spray right now because I'm kind of stuffy. Sorry if you can hear it. Okay, let me check chats. No questions so far, so we continue. Oh, sorry if you can hear how stuffy I am. It's turning allergy season. Numbers 3, Levites appointed for service. This is the family line of Aaron and Moses as it was recorded when the Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai. The names of Aaron's sons were Nadab the oldest, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These sons of Aaron were anointed and ordained to minister as priests. But Nadab and Abihu died in the Lord's presence in the wilderness of Sinai, when they burned before the Lord the wrong kind of fire, different than he had commanded. Since they had no sons, this left only Eleazar and Ithamar to serve as priests with their father Aaron. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Call forward the tribe of Levi, and present them to Aaron the priest to serve as his assistants. They will serve Aaron and the whole community, performing their sacred duties in and around the tabernacle. They will also maintain all the furnishings of the sacred tent, serving in the tabernacle on behalf of all the Israelites. Assign the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They have been given from among all the people of Israel to serve as their assistants. Appoint Aaron and his sons to carry out the duties of the priesthood, but any unauthorized person who goes near the sanctuary must be put to death." And the Lord said to Moses, "Look, I have chosen the Levites from among the Israelites to serve as substitutes for all the firstborn sons of the people of Israel. The Levites belong to me, for all the firstborn males are mine. On the day I struck down all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians, I set apart for myself all the firstborns in Israel, both of people and of animals. They are mine. I am the Lord." Registration of the Levites. The Lord spoke again to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. He said, "Record the names of the members of the tribe of Levi by their families and clans. List every male who is 1 month old or older." So Moses listed them just as the Lord had commanded. Levi had 3 sons whose names were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The clans descended from Gershon were named after 2 of his descendants, Libni and Shimi. The clans descended from Kohath were named after his 4 descendants, Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The clans descended from Merari were named after 2 of his descendants, Mali, and Mushi. These were the Levite clans, listed according to their family groups. The descendants of Gershon were composed of the clans descended from Libni and Shimi. There were 7,500 males 1 month old or older among the Gershonite clans. They were assigned the area to the west of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Gershonite clan was Eliasaph, son of Lael. These two clans were responsible to care for the tabernacle, including the sacred tent with its layers of coverings, the curtains at its entrance, the curtains of the courtyard that surrounded the tabernacle and altar, the curtains at the courtyard entrance, the ropes, and all the equipment related to their use. The descendants of Kohath were composed of the clans descended from Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. There were 8,600 males 1 month old or older among these Kohathite clans. They were responsible for the care of the sanctuary, and they were assigned the area south of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Kohathite clans were Elizaphan, son of Uzziel. These 4 clans were responsible for the care of the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the various articles used in the sanctuary, the inner curtain, and all the equipment related to their use. Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, was the chief administrator over all the Levites, with special responsibility for the oversight of the sanctuary. The descendants of Merari were composed of the clans descended from Mali and Mushi. There were 6,200 males 1 month old or older among these Merarite clans. They were assigned to the area north of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Merarite clans were Zuriel, son of Abihail. These 2 clans were responsible for the care of the frames supporting the tabernacle, the crossbars, the pillars, the bases, and all the equipment related to their use. They were also responsible for the posts of the courtyard and all their bases, pegs, and ropes. The area in front of the tabernacle in the east toward the sunrise was reserved for the tents of Moses and of Aaron and his sons, who had the final responsibility for the sanctuary on behalf of the people of Israel. Anyone other than a priest or Levite who went too near the sanctuary was to be put to death. When Moses and Aaron counted the Levite clans at the Lord's command, the total number was 22,000 males 1 month old or older. Redeeming the firstborn sons. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now count all the firstborn sons in Israel who are 1 month old or older, and make a list of their names. The Levites must be reserved for me as substitutes for the firstborn sons of Israel. I am the Lord, and the Levites' livestock must be reserved for me as substitutes for the firstborn livestock of the whole nation of Israel." So Moses counted the firstborn sons of the people of Israel, just as the Lord had commanded. The number of firstborn sons who were 1 month old or older was 22,273. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Take the Levites as substitutes for the firstborn sons of the people of Israel, and take the livestock of the Levites as substitutes for the firstborn livestock of the people of Israel. The Levites belong to me. I am the Lord. There are 273 more firstborn sons of Israel than there are of Levites. To redeem these extra firstborn sons, collect 5 pieces of silver for each of them, each piece weighing the same as the sanctuary shekel, which equals 12 gerah. Give the silver to Aaron and his sons as the redemption price for the extra firstborn sons." So Moses collected the silver for redeeming the firstborn sons of Israel, who exceeded the number of Levites. He collected 1,365 pieces of silver on behalf of these firstborn sons of Israel, each price weighing the same as the sanctuary shekel. And Moses gave the silver for the redemption to Aaron and his sons, just as the Lord had commanded. water and check chats. Wow, these chapters seem longer than normal. But it could also be that I just haven't read in a while. I don't see any chats, so I will continue. Numbers 4. Duties of the Kohathite clan. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, record the names of the members of the clans and families of the Kohathite division of the tribe of Levi. List all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. The duties of the Kohathites at the tabernacle will relate to the most sacred objects. When the camp moves, Aaron and his sons must enter the tabernacle first to take down the inner curtain and cover the Ark of the Covenant with it. Then they must cover the inner curtain with fine goatskin leather and spread over that a single piece of blue cloth. Finally, they must put the carrying poles of the ark in place. Next, they must spread a blue cloth over the table where the bread of the presence is displayed, and on the cloth they will place the bowls, ladles, jars, pitchers, and the special bread. They must spread a scarlet cloth over all of this, and finally cover a covering of fine goatskin leather on top of the scarlet cloth. Then they must insert the carrying poles into the table. Next they will cover the lampstand with a blue cloth along with its lamps, lamp snuffers, trays, and special jars of olive oil. Then they must cover the lampstand and its accessories with fine goatskin leather and place the bundle on a carrying frame. They must spread a blue cloth over the gold incense altar and cover this cloth with fine goatskin leather. Then they must attach the carrying poles to the altar. They must take all the remaining furnishing of the sanctuary and wrap them in a blue cloth, cover them with fine goatskin leather, and place them on the carrying frame. They must remove the ashes from the altar for sacrifices and cover the altar with a purple cloth. All the altar utensils, the fire pans, meat forks, shovels, basins, and all the containers must be placed on the cloth, and a covering of fine goatskin leather must be spread over them. Finally, they must put the carrying poles in place. The camp will be ready to move when Aaron and his sons have finished covering the sanctuary and all the sacred articles. The Kohathites will come and carry these things to the next destination, but they must not touch the sacred objects or they will die. So these are the things for the tabernacle that the Kohathites must carry. Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, will be responsible for the oil of the lampstand, the fragrant incense, the daily grain offerings, and the anointing oil. In fact, Eleazar will be responsible for the entire tabernacle and everything in it, including the sanctuary and its furnishings. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, do not let the Kohathite clans be destroyed from among the Levites. This is what you must do, so they will live and not die when they approach the most sacred objects. Aaron and his sons must always go in with them and assign a specific duty or load to each person. The Kohathites must never enter the sanctuary to look at the sacred objects for even a moment, or they will die. Duties of the Gershonite clan. The Lord said to Moses, record the names of the members of the clans and families of the Gershonite division of the tribe of Levi. List all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. These Gershonite clans will be responsible for general service and carrying loads. They must carry the curtains of the tabernacle itself with its coverings, the outer covering of fine goatskin leather, and the curtains of the tabernacle entrance. They are also to carry the curtains for the courtyard walls that surround the tabernacle and altar, the curtain across the courtyard entrance, the ropes, and all the equipment related to their use. The Gershonites are responsible for all these items. Aaron and his sons will direct the Gershonites regarding all their duties, whether it involves moving the equipment or doing other work. They must assign Gershonites responsibility for the loads they are to carry. So these are the duties assigned to the Gershonite clans at the tabernacle. They will be directly responsible to Ithamar son of Aaron the priest. Duties of the Merarite clans. Now record the names of the member of the clans and families of the Merarite division of the tribe of Levi. List all the men between ages 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. Their only duty at the tabernacle will be to carry loads. They will carry the frames of the tabernacle, the crossbars, the posts, and the bases. Also the posts for the courtyard walls with their bases, pegs, and ropes, and all the accessories and everything else related to their use. Assign the various loads to each man by name. So these are the duties of the Merarite clans at the tabernacle. They are directly responsible to Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Summary of the registration. So Moses, Aaron, and the other leaders of the community listed the members of the Kohathite division by their clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 2,750. So this was the total of all those from the Kohathite clans who were eligible to serve at the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron listed them, just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. The Gershonite division was also listed by its clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 2,630. So this was the total of all those from the Gershonite clans who were eligible to serve at the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron listed them, just as the Lord had commanded. The Merarite division was also listed by its clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for the service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 3,200. So this was the total of all those from the Merarite clans who were eligible for service. Moses and Aaron listed them, just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. So Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of Israel listed all the Levites by their clans and families. All the men between 30 and 50 years of age were eligible for the service in the tabernacle and for its transportation, numbered 8,580. When their names were recorded as the Lord had commanded through Moses, each man was assigned his task and told what to carry. And so the registration was complete, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Water and check chats. No questions. No questions. No questions. Okay. Here's Numbers 5. Purity in Israel's camp. The Lord gave these instructions to Moses. Command the people of Israel to remove from the camp anyone who has a skin disease or a discharge, or who has become ceremonially unclean by touching a dead person. This command applies to men and women alike. Remove them so they will not defile the camp in which I live among them. So the Israelites did as the Lord had commanded Moses and removed such people from the camp. Then the Lord said to Moses, Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people, men or women, betray the Lord by doing wrong to another person, they are guilty. Hey Cloudy, how you doing? They must confess their sin and make full restitution for what they have done, adding an additional 20% and returning it to the people who was wronged. But if the person who was wronged is dead, and there are no near relatives to whom restitution can be made, the payment belongs to the Lord and must be given to the priest. Those who are guilty must also bring a ram as a sacrifice, and the Lord will be purified, and they will be purified and made right with the Lord. All the sacred offerings that the Israelites bring to the priest will belong to him. Each priest may keep all the sacred donations that he receives. Can't stay, got exams, hope your stream goes well. Pray for me? Yeah, I'll pray for you. Yeah, thanks for popping in. And if you ever need me to pray for anything, honestly, just tell me because I I'm happy to. There's no reason for me not to. Protecting marital faithfulness. And the Lord said to Moses, "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. Suppose a man's wife goes astray, and she is unfaithful to her husband, and has sex with another man, but neither her husband nor anyone else knows about it. She has defiled herself, even though there was no witness and she was not caught in the act. If her husband becomes jealous and is suspicious of his wife and needs to know whether or not she has defiled herself, the husband must bring his wife to the priest. He must also bring an offering of 2 quarts of barley flour to be presented on her behalf. Do not mix it with olive oil or frankincense, for it is a jealousy offering, an offering to prove whether or not she is guilty. The priest will then present her to stand trial before the Lord. He must take some holy water in a clay jar and pour into it dust he has taken from the tabernacle floor. When the priest has presented the woman before the Lord, he must unbind her hair and place in her hands the offering of proof, the jealousy offering, to determine whether her husband's suspicions are justified. The priest will stand before her holding the jar of bitter water that brings a curse to those who are guilty. The priest will then put the woman under oath and say to her, "If no other man has had sex with you, and you have not gone astray and defiled yourself while under your husband's authority, may you be immune from the effects of the bitter water that brings on the curse. But if you have gone astray by being unfaithful to your husband, and have defiled yourself by having sex with another man, at this point the priest must put the woman under oath by saying, 'May the people know that the Lord's curse is upon you when he makes you infertile, causing your womb to shrivel and your abdomen to swell. Now may this water that brings the curse enter your body and cause your abdomen to swell and your womb to shrivel.' And the woman will be required to say, 'Yes, let it be so.' And the priest will write these curses on a piece of leather and wash them off into the bitter water. He will make the woman drink the bitter water that brings on the curse. When the water enters her body, it will cause bitter suffering if she is guilty. The priest will take the jealousy offering from the woman's hand, lift it up before the Lord, and carry it to the altar. He will take a handful of the flour as a token portion and burn it on the altar, and he will require the woman to drink the water. If she has defiled herself by being unfaithful to her husband, the water that brings on the curse will cause bitter suffering. Her abdomen will swell, and her womb will shrink, and her name will become a curse among her people. But if she has not defiled herself and is pure, then she will be unharmed and still be able to have children. This is the ritual law for dealing with suspicion if a woman goes astray and defiles herself while under her husband's authority, or if a man becomes jealous and is suspicious that his wife has been unfaithful. The husband must present his wife before the Lord, and the priest will apply this entire ritual law to her. The husband will be innocent of any guilt in this matter, but his wife will be held accountable for her sin. Water and check chats. Seems as though there's no questions besides Cloudy asking me to pray for him. Or her. I don't know. But yeah. Cloudy, if you're still listening, I know you said you can't stay. But if you are still listening, I'll pray for you, don't worry. I'm not a priest or anything, but I can still pray for you. Number 6. Nazirite laws. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people, either men or women, take the special vow of a Nazirite, setting themselves apart to the Lord in a special way, they must give up wine and other alcoholic drinks. They must not use vinegar made from wine or from other alcoholic drinks. They must not drink fresh grape juice, and they must not eat grapes or raisins. As long as they are bound by the Nazirite vow, they are not allowed to eat or drink anything that comes from a grapevine, not even the grape seed or skins. They must never cut their hair throughout the time of their vow, for they are holy and set apart to the Lord. Until the time of their vow has been fulfilled, they must let their hair grow long, and they must not go near a dead body during the entire period of their vow to the Lord. Even if the dead person is their own father, mother, brother, or sister, they must not defile themselves, for the hair on their head is the symbol of their separation to God. This requirement applies as long as they are set apart to the Lord. If someone falls dead beside them, the hair they have dedicated will be defiled. They must wait for 7 days and then shave their head. Then they will be cleansed from their defilement. On the 8th day, they must bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will offer one of the birds for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. In this way, he will purify them from the guilt they incurred through contact with the dead body. Then they must reaffirm their commitment and let their hair begin to grow again. The days of their vow that were completed before their defilement no longer count. They must rededicate themselves to the Lord as a Nazirite for the full term of their vow, and each must bring a 1-year-old male lamb for a guilt offering. This is the ritual law for Nazirites. At the conclusion of their time of separation as Nazirites, they must each go to the entrance of the tabernacle and offer their sacrifices to the Lord, a 1-year-old male lamb without defects for a burnt offering, and a 1-year-old female lamb without defects for a sin offering, a ram without defects for a peace offering, a basket of bread made without yeast, cakes of choice flour mixed with olive oil and wafers spread with olive oil, along with their prescribed grain offerings and liquid offerings. The priest will present these offerings before the Lord, first the sin offering and the burnt offering, then the ram for a peace offering, along with the basket of bread made without yeast. The priest must also present the prescribed grain offering and the liquid offering to the Lord. Then the Nazirites will shave their heads at the entrance of the tabernacle. They will take their hair that has been dedicated and place it on the fire beneath the peace offering sacrifice. After the Nazirite's head has been shaved, the priest will take for each of them the boiled shoulder of the ram, and he will take from the basket a cake and a wafer made without yeast. He will put them all into the Nazirite's hands. Then the priest will lift them up as a special offering before the Lord. These are holy portions for the priest, along with the breast of the special offering and the thigh of the sacred offering that are lifted up before the Lord. After the ceremony, the Nazirites may again drink wine. This is the ritual law of the Nazirites, who vow to bring these offerings to the Lord. They may also bring additional offerings if they can afford it, and they must be careful to do whatever they vowed when they set themselves apart as Nazirites. The priestly blessing. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons to bless the people of Israel with his special blessing. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace." Whenever Aaron and his sons bless the people of Israel in my name, I myself will bless them. I gotta mute up, but I'll be back really quickly, I promise. Okay, I am back. Let me get water and check chats before I continue. Oh, this chapter's long. It's gonna take a while. But that's fine. We're gonna get through 10 chapters today, as long as the next ones aren't insanely long. But yeah, let me check chats for any questions. It appears as though there are none. Which is fine. Yeah. I'll continue reading now. Number 7, Offerings of Dedication. I'm going to try and read a little bit faster here just because this one's actually very, very long, it seems. On the day Moses set up the tabernacle, he anointed it and set it apart as holy. He also anointed and set apart all its furnishings and altar with its utensils. Then the leaders of Israel, the tribal leaders who had registered the troops, came and brought their offerings. Together they brought 6 large wagons and 12 oxen. There was a wagon for every 2 leaders and an oxen for every leader. They presented these to the Lord in front of the tabernacle. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Receive their gifts and use these oxen and wagons for transporting the tabernacle. Distribute them among the Levites according to the work they have to do." So Moses took the wagons and oxen and presented them to the Levites. He gave 2 wagons and 4 oxen to the Gershonite division for their work, and he gave 4 wagons and 8 oxen to the Merarite division for their work. All the work was done under the leadership of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. But he gave none of the wagons or oxen to the Kohathite division, since they were required to carry the sacred objects of the tabernacle on their shoulders. Then the leaders also presented dedication gifts for the altar at the time it was anointed. They each placed their gifts before the altar. The Lord said to Moses, "Let one leader bring his gift each day for the dedication of the altar." On the first day, Nahshon, son of Amminadab, leader of the tribe of Judah, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Nahshon, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathanael, son of Zuar, leader of the tribe of Issachar, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings and choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Nathanael, son of Zuar. On the third day, Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the tribe of Zebulun, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offerings brought by Eliab, son of Helon. On the fourth day, Eleazar, son of Shedur, leader of the tribe of Reuben, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds, and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Eleazar son of Shedeur. On the 5th day, Shelemiel son of Zurishaddai, leader of the tribe of Simeon, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offerings brought by Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, son of Deuel, leader of the tribe of Gad, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offerings brought by Eliasaph, son of Deuel. On the 7th day, Elishama, son of Ammihud, leader of the tribe of Ephraim, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Elishama, son of Ammihud. On the 8th day, man, this is just very repetitive. On the 8th day, Gamiel, son of Pedahzur, leader of the tribe of Manasseh, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offerings brought by Gamiel, son of Pedahzur. On the 9th day, Abidan, son of Gideoni, leader of the tribe of Benjamin, presented his offerings. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offerings brought by Abidan, son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, leader of the tribe of Dan, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat as a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offerings brought by Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Ochran, leader of the tribe of Asher, presented his offerings. His offerings consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings and a choice flour moistened with olive oil. He brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offerings brought by Pagiel, son of Ochran. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Enan, leader of the tribe of Naphtali, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds and a silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offerings brought by Ahira, son of Enan. So this was the dedication offering brought by the leaders of Israel at the time the altar was anointed. 12 silver platters, 12 silver basins, and 12 gold incense containers. Each silver platter weighing 3¼ pounds, and each silver basin weighing 1¾ pounds, and the total weight of the silver was 60 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. Each of the 12 gold containers that was filled with incense weighed 4 ounces, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. The total weight of the gold was 3 pounds. 12 young bulls, 12 rams, and 12 one-year-old male lambs were donated for burnt offerings, along with their prescribed grain offerings. 12 male goats were brought for sin offerings. 24 bulls, 60 rams, 60 male goats, 60 one-year-old male lambs, and were donated for peace offerings. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. Whenever Moses went into the tabernacle to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from between the 2 cherubim above the ark's cover, the place of atonement, the rest of the ark of the covenant. The Lord spoke to him from there. Okay, this chapter is much shorter. Luckily. Let me get water and check chats. But yeah, if anyone's watching right now, I honestly don't know if anyone is. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you're trying to, even if you're not trying to grow in your faith and you're just curious, welcome. I'm just reading for anyone to listen to. It's your choice if you want to stay. It's your choice if you want to believe what I'm reading. I'm here to read. You're here to listen. Numbers 8. Preparing the lamps. The Lord said to Moses, "Give Aaron the following instructions when you set up the 7 lamps and the lampstand. Place them so their light shines forward in front of the lampstand." So Aaron did this. He set up the 7 lamps so they reflected their light forward, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The entire lampstand, from its base to its decorative blossoms, was made of beaten gold. It was built according to the exact design the Lord had shown Moses. The Levites dedicated. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now set the Levites apart from the rest of the people of Israel and make them ceremonially clean. Do this by sprinkling them with the water of purification and have them shave their entire body and wash their clothing. Then they will be ceremonially clean. Have them bring a young bull and a grain offering of choice flour moistened with olive oil, and along with a second young bull for a sin offering. Then assemble the whole community of Israel and present the Levites at the entrance of the tabernacle. When you present the Levites before the Lord, the people of Israel must lay their hands on them. Raising his hands, Aaron must then present the Levites to the Lord as a special offering from the people of Israel, thus dedicating them to the Lord's service. Next, the Levites will lay their hands on their heads of the young bulls, present one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering to the Lord. Purify the Levites and make them right with the Lord. Then have the Levites stand in front of Aaron and his sons and raise his hands and present them as a special offering to the Lord. In this way, you will set the Levites apart from the rest of the people of Israel, and the Levites will belong to me. After this, they may go into the tabernacle to do their work, because you have purified them and presented them as a special offering. Of all the people of Israel, the Levites are reserved for me, and I have claimed them for myself in place of all the firstborn sons of Israel, of the Israelites. For all the firstborn males among the people of Israel are mine, both of people and of animals. I set them apart for myself in the day I struck down all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians. Yes, I have claimed the Levites in place of all the firstborn sons of Israel. And of all the Israelites I have assigned the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They will serve in the tabernacle on behalf of the Israelites and make sacrifices to purify the people so no plague will strike them when they approach the sanctuary. So Moses and Aaron and the whole community of Israel dedicated the Levites, carefully following all of the Lord's instructions to Moses. The Levites purified themselves from sin and washed their clothes, and Aaron lifted them up and presented them to the Lord as a special offering. He then offered a sacrifice to purify them and make them right with the Lord. After that, the Levites went into the tabernacle to perform their duties, assisting Aaron and his sons. So they carried out all the commands that the Lord gave Moses concerning the Levites. The Lord also instructed Moses, This is the rule the Levites must follow. They must begin serving in the tabernacle at the age of 25, and they must retire at the age of 50. After retirement, they may assist their fellow Levites by serving as guards at the tabernacle, but they may not officiate in the service. This is how you must assign duties to the Levites. Good. This chapter is normal length, but it's gonna feel so much quicker compared to chapter 7. Let me get water and check chats. No chats here. No chats here, but that's okay. Also, if anyone is hearing this, you are welcome to let me know if you want me to pray for anything. You can put it in chat. Obviously, you don't have to if it's something personal. But if you do put something in chat, then other people in chat can see it and you can get people praying for you. I want this to be like a very welcoming stream, even if my voice is kind of rough around the edges. But let's continue. Numbers 9. The second Passover. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of that year. He said, Tell the Israelites to celebrate the Passover at the prescribed time, at twilight on the 14th day of the first month. Be sure to follow all my decrees and regulations concerning this celebration. So Moses told the people to celebrate the Passover in the wilderness of Sinai as twilight fell on the 14th day of the month, and they celebrated the festival there, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. But some of the men had been ceremonially defiled by touching a dead body, so they could not celebrate the Passover that day. They came to Moses and Aaron that day and said, We have become ceremonially unclean by touching a dead body. But why should we be prevented from presenting the Lord's offering at the proper time with the rest of the Israelites? Moses answered, Wait here until I have received instructions for you from the Lord. This was the Lord's reply to Moses. Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people now or in the future generations are ceremonially unclean at Passover time because of touching a dead body, or if they are on a journey and cannot be present at the ceremony, they may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. They must offer the Passover sacrifice 1 month later, at twilight on the 14th day of the second month. They must eat the Passover lamb at the time with bitter salad greens and bread made without yeast. They must not leave any of the lamb until the next morning. They must not break any of its bones. They must follow all the normal regulations concerning the Passover. But those who neglect to celebrate the Passover at the regular time, even though they are ceremonially clean and not away on a trip, will be cut off from the community of Israel. If they fail to present the Lord's offering at the proper time, they will suffer the consequences of their guilt. And if foreigners living among you want to celebrate the Passover to the Lord, They must follow these same decrees and regulations. The same laws apply both to native-born Israelites and foreigners living among you. The fiery cloud. On that day the tabernacle was set up. On the day the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered it. But from evening until morning, the cloud over the tabernacle looked like a pillar of fire. This was the regular pattern. At night the cloud that covered the tabernacle had the appearance of fire. Whenever the cloud lifted from over the sacred tent, the people of Israel would break camp and follow it. And wherever the cloud settled, the people of Israel would set up camp. In this way, they traveled and camped at the Lord's command, wherever he told them to go. Then they remained in camp as long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle. If the cloud remained over the tabernacle for a long time, the Israelites stayed and performed their duties to the Lord. Sometimes the cloud would stay over the tabernacle for only a few days, so the people would stay for only a few days, as the Lord commanded. Then the Lord commanded they would break camp and move on. Sometimes the cloud stayed only overnight and lifted the next morning. But day or night, when the cloud lifted, the people broke camp and moved on. Whether the cloud stayed over the tabernacle for 2 days, a month, or a year, the people of Israel stayed in camp and did not move on. But as soon as it lifted, they broke camp and moved on. So they camped and traveled at the Lord's command. They did whatever the Lord told them through Moses. Okay, this might be the last chapter, depending on how long the future chapters are. Let me see how many. Okay, so we're here. This would take around 4 streams if I just read 10 chapters each time. So maybe I could get to chapter 13 and make this into, or chapter 12 I mean, and make this into 3 streams for all of Numbers. Let me check chats though. Nothing, and nothing. That's okay though. Sorry, I kept bumping the mic. Yeah, I'll continue reading now. Numbers 10. The silver trumpets. Now the Lord said to Moses, make 2 trumpets of hammered silver for calling the community to assembly and for signaling the breaking of camp. When both trumpets are blown, everyone must gather before you at the entrance of the tabernacle. But if only 1 trumpet is blown, then only the leaders, the heads of the clans of Israel, must present themselves to you. When you sound the signal to move on, the tribes camped on the east side of the tabernacle must break camp and move forward. When you sound the signal a second time, the tribes camped on the south will follow. You must sound short blasts as the signal for moving on. But when you call people to an assembly, blow the trumpets with a different signal. Only the priests, Aaron's descendants, are allowed to blow the trumpets. This is a permanent law for you to observe from generation to generation. When you arrive in your own land and go to war against your enemies who attack you, sound the alarm with the trumpets. Then the Lord your God will remember you and rescue you from your enemies. Blow the trumpets in times of gladness too, sounding them at your annual festivals and at the beginning of each month, and blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and peace offerings. The trumpets will remind your God of his covenant with you and the Lord your God. Okay, I don't normally, or I haven't so far broken down what I've read. I kind of just read it and let you guys listen. But something that really popped popped out to me is when it said, "Blow the trumpets in times of gladness too." It made me think of prayer. Like, obviously, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a priest. I can be wrong about a lot of things. But something I do know is that, like, you're not supposed to just pray when you need something from God. You're supposed to pray all the time. Like, recently I've been having a pretty good week. I still pray. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. But like, that's just something that stuck out to me. I won't rant for too long. I do plan on breaking up the texts later on, especially once we get to the gospel and stuff, or Psalms, when it's stuff you can interpret. But let's continue. The Israelites leave Sinai. In the second year after Israel's departure from Egypt, on the 20th day of the second month, the cloud lifted from the tabernacle of the covenant. So the Israelites set out from the wilderness of Sinai and traveled on from place to place until the cloud stopped in the wilderness of Paran. When the people set out for the first time following the instructions the Lord had given through Moses, Judah's troops led the way. They marched behind their banner, and their leaders were Nahshon, son of Amminadab. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Issachar, led by Nathanael, son of Zuar, and the troops of the tribe of Zebulun, led by Eliab, son of Helon. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonite and Merarite division of the Levites were next in line of march, carrying the tabernacle with them. Reuben's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Eleazar, son of Shedeur. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Simeon, led by Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, and the troops of the tribe of Gad, led by Eliasaph, son of Duel. Next came the Kohathite division of the Levites, carrying the sacred objects from the tabernacle. Before they arrived in the next camp, the tabernacle would already be set up at its new location. Ephraim's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Elishama, son of Amihud. They were joined by troops of the tribe of Manasseh, led by Gemiel, son of Pedazur, and the troops of the tribe of Benjamin, led by Abidan, son of Gideoni. Dan's troops went last, marching behind their banner and serving as the rear guard for all the tribal camps. Their leader was Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Asher, led by Pagiel, son of Ochran, and the troops of the tribe of Naphtali, led by Ahira, son of Enan. This was the order in which the Israelites marched, division by division. One day Moses said to his brother-in-law, Hobab, son of Reuel, the Midianite, "We are on our way to the place the Lord promised us, for he said, 'I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised wonderful blessings for Israel.' But Hobab replied, 'No, I will not go. I must return to my own land and family.' 'Please don't leave us,' Moses pleaded. 'You know the places in the wilderness where we should camp. Come on, come be our guide. If you do, we'll share with you all the blessings the Lord gives us.' They marched for 3 days after leaving the mountain of the Lord, with the ark of the Lord's covenant moving ahead of them to show them where to stop and rest. As they moved on each day, the cloud of the Lord hovered over them. And whenever the ark set out, Moses would shout, 'Arise, O Lord, and let the enemies be scattered. Let them flee before you.' And when the ark was set down, he would say, 'Return, O Lord, countless thousands of Israel. Okay, this doesn't look too long. So yeah, I think I could read to 12 and get through Numbers in 3 streams, depending on the length of future ones. But let me check chats real quick. No questions or anything. No prayer requests, but that's okay. I will continue reading. This one looks a little long. Numbers 11. The people complained to Moses. Soon the people began to complain about their hardship, and the Lord heard everything they said. Then the Lord's anger blazed against them, and he sent a fire to rage among them, and he destroyed some of the people in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people screamed to Moses for help, and when he prayed to the Lord, the fire stopped. After that, the area was known as Taberah, which means the place of burning, because fire from the Lord had burned among them there. Then the foreign rabble who were traveling with the Israelites began to crave the good things of Egypt, and the people of Israel also began to complain. "Oh, for some meat," they exclaimed. "We remember the fish we used to eat for free in Egypt, and we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic we wanted. But now our appetites are gone. All we ever see is this manna." The manna looked like small coriander seeds, and it was pale yellow, like gum resin. The people would go out and gather it from the ground. They made flour by grinding it with hand mills and pounding it in mortars. Then they boiled it in a pot and made it into flat cakes. These cakes tasted like pastries baked with olive oil. The manna came down on the camp with the dew during the night. Moses heard all the families standing in the doorways of their tents, whining, and the Lord became extremely angry. Moses was also very aggravated. And Moses said to the Lord, "Why are you treating me, your servant, so harshly? Have mercy on me. What did I do to deserve the burden of all these people? Did I give birth to them? Did I bring them into the world? Why did you tell me to carry them in my arms like a mother carries a nursing baby? How can I carry them to the land you swore to give their ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people? They keep whining to me, saying, 'Give us meat to eat.' I can't carry all these people by myself. The load is far too heavy. If this is how you intend to treat me, just go ahead and kill me. Do me a favor and spare me this misery." Moses chooses 70 leaders. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Gather before me 70 men who are recognized as elders and leaders of Israel. Bring them to the tabernacle to stand there with you. I will come down and talk to you there. I will take some of the Spirit that is upon you, and I will put the Spirit upon them also. They will bear the burden of the people along with you, and you will not have to carry it alone. And say to the people, 'Purify yourselves, for tomorrow you will have meat to eat.' You were whining, and the Lord heard you when you cried, 'Oh, for some meat! We are better off in Egypt.' Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will have to eat it. And it won't be for just a day or two, or for 5, or 10, or even 20. You will eat it for a whole month until you gag and are sick of it. For you have rejected the Lord, who is here among you, and you have whined to him, saying, 'Why did we ever leave Egypt?'" But Moses responded to the Lord, "There are 600,000 foot soldiers here with me, and yet you say, 'I will give them meat for a whole month'? Even if we butchered all our flocks and herds, would that satisfy them? Even if we caught all the fish in the sea, would that be enough?" Then the Lord said to Moses, "Has my arm lost its power? Now you will see whether or not my word comes true. So Moses went out and reported the Lord's word to the people. He gathered 70 elders and stationed them around the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. Then he gave the 70 elders the same spirit that was upon Moses. And when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. They prophesied, but this never happened again. 2 men, Eldad and Medad, had stayed behind in the camp. They were listed among the elders, but they had not gone out to the tabernacle. Yet the Spirit rested upon them as well. So they prophesied there in the camp. A young man ran and reported to Moses. Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' assistant since his youth, protested, "Moses, my master, make them stop." But Moses replied, "Are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets and that the Lord would put his spirit upon them all." Then Moses returned to the camp with the elders of Israel. The Lord sends quail. Now the Lord sent a wind that brought quail from the sea and let them fall all around the camp. For miles in every direction there were quail flying about 3 feet above the ground. So the people went out and caught quail all that day and throughout the night and all the next day too. No one gathered less than 50 bushels. They spread the quail all around the camp to dry. But while they were gorging themselves on the meat, while it was still in their mouths, the anger of the Lord blazed against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague. So that place was called Kibroth Hattave, which means graves of gluttony, because they buried the people who had craved meat from Egypt. From Kibroth Hattave, the Israelites traveled to Hazeroth, where they stayed for some time. Water, and then read this one, and then I'll just see how much longer or how long the next chapters are, and I'll just keep reading. I do want to keep reading until a streamer did say he might raid me, and I don't want to end before they do that. So I might just keep reading. I might stop and have like some time to chat if anyone's here. Let me check chats. Nothing. Kind of expected. But I'll read 12. Then I'll get more water. I'll see if anyone wants to chat. And then yeah, I'll continue. Numbers 12. Complaints of Miriam and Aaron. While they were at Hazeroth, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses because he had married a Cushite woman. They said, "Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too?" But the Lord heard them. Now Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person on earth. So immediately the Lord called to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, and said, "Go to the tabernacle, all 3 of you." So the 3 of them went to the tabernacle. Then the Lord descended in the pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. "Aaron and Miriam," he called. And they stepped forward, and the Lord said to them, "Now listen to what I say. If there were prophets among you, I, the Lord, would reveal myself in visions. I would speak to them in dreams, but not with my servant Moses. Of all my house, he is the one I trust. I speak to him face to face, clearly and not in riddles. He sees the Lord as he is. So why were you not afraid to criticize my servant Moses?" The Lord was very angry with them, and he departed. As the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow from leprosy. When Aaron saw what had happened to her, he cried out to Moses, "Oh, my master, please don't punish us for this sin we have so foolishly committed. Don't let her be like a stillborn baby after already decayed at birth." So Moses cried out to the Lord, "O God, I beg you, please heal her." But the Lord said to Moses, "If her father had done nothing more than spit in her face, wouldn't she be defiled for 7 days? So keep her outside the camp for 7 days, and after that she may be accepted back." So Miriam was kept outside the camp for 7 days, and the people waited until was brought back before they traveled again. Then they left Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. Yeah, I'm gonna drink my water. I will be back soon. I'll check chats one last time before I... Okay. I'll put on the... Hold on. Not a big fan of this song. Okay, yeah. I will be back. So let me find the BRB screen. Yeah, I'll be back. And don't go anywhere. Okay. I am back. And I am freezing right now. But let me check all the chats. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Okay, pretty nice, pretty nice. Well, pretty nice is me not missing anyone, which is which means no one's here. But that's besides the point. Should I keep on? Well, I just realized if no one's here, no one's gonna answer. But I might just relax right here for a bit. Wait for King Andrew to raid me, and then I'll continue reading. I hope he doesn't forget. But yeah, I'm going to switch to my chatting one. Boop. Okay, now you can only see me. Congrats. I am everything you see. But yeah, this has been a very productive stream. We've kind of flown through 12 chapters. And now we're just going to have a moment of calm. I kind of want to get some cereal right now. But I'm going to not do that. I'm going to just chill out. If anyone pops in, I'll say hi. You know, do all the stuff. But yeah, I gotta find a way Obviously no one's hearing this, but that's fine. I gotta find a way to bring viewers in. I heard someone talk about this, where like on Twitch you want to bring viewers in and not gain viewers on Twitch. I need to find a way to bring in Christian viewers. But it's hard when you don't have social media or anything to advertise on. But it's fine. I'll figure it out some other time. But yeah, almost an hour 30 of streaming. I might need to get my jacket on. It's actually freezing in my room. It's probably only like 60 degrees, but that's enough to feel really cold. But yeah, I guess I could talk about how my I don't know how to explain it. My religious life, I guess. How it's been going. So only 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was the first time I went to church in forever. I think besides that, I went one time in a decade. So I didn't go very much. At all. But I've gone 2 weeks in a row now. I plan on going this Sunday as well. And I found out about this one thing that my church has. And it's a group led by college students. And so it's just a bunch of people my age talking about the Bible, and it's like pretty sweet. And when I went there the first time on Tuesday this week, and like they were so welcoming. But I met some guys and they invited me to their Bible study, and it was like 15 guys, me and 15 guys. And it was like it was just such a cool experience. Like I met so many people just through 2 weeks of going to church, basically. And it's just like a nice thing, feeling like it. Okay, I'm trying to think of how to clarify this. I'm not Christian just to feel good. That's not what I'm doing. That is part of it, but that's not the main reason. But yeah, ever since I decided, yeah, I should be a full devoted Christian, I've been happier. And it's nice. Just knowing that there's like people there for me. Like if I'm ever having a really rough time, I got the guys in the Bible study. I have all of the college-led church and the normal church. Hey! Thanks for the follow. I'm just taking a break from reading and kind of just talking to myself right now because I don't know how many people are watching. But yeah, I've just been talking about my recent life with religion. But how is the stream? Are you still conscious? Or are you still streaming? Wait, hold on. It says you're still streaming. Yeah. Apologies if I'm still a little awkward. I'm still kind of new to streaming. I only started streaming regularly like 2 months ago. So I'm still getting used to it. And don't worry, this isn't how the normal reading stream looks. When I do a normal, or when I am reading, I switch to this one, so you can actually see what I'm reading. But I just do this because it's easier on the eyes, like less white. And I know it's late for a lot of people. But yeah, so far I've made it through. Hey, thanks for the raid. I've made it through 12 chapters so far in this stream. Recently, for a bit I've just been kind of talking to myself, honestly. But I'm mainly doing this for the VOD and the video on YouTube. But how you doing? How's the ending of your stream? Yeah, sorry. I'm not sure if you heard me when I said it earlier, but I'm still a little awkward while streaming because I only started 2 months ago, really. 2-ish months. Yeah, 2 months ago. Edited on Say It Together for the Kids by Blink. Oh, yeah. And I'm drunk. Well, are you rating and dipping, or you gonna stick around and hear like a chapter? Honestly, the chapters I'm reading right now, they aren't like, obviously they're useful, but they aren't like as useful for us now, because these are like rules that were for the Israelites thousands of years ago. I'll be here for a few. I'm ordering some food. Okay, nice. But yeah, right now, the part in the Bible I'm going through, it's literally just like, it's all rules. The first like 5 books of the Bible, I heard, are all just rules for the Israelites. And yeah, so it's kind of the boring part of the Bible, if you ask me, but I could read, or we could just chat about Christianity if you want. Like, someone popped in earlier. You can see it in the chat on screen, but like they just asked me to pray for them. Like, I'm willing to pray for you if you want. Like, it's up to you. I'm kind of just here to be someone to talk to, you know? If you want to listen to the Bible, I'll read the Bible. If you want to talk, I'll talk. These streams aren't very organized. It's just like, I read the Bible and see what happens. Like, one time I was reading the Bible, and like, I was chatting with someone who's my mod, and like all of a sudden I like broke down in tears. It was weird, but like, these streams just go wherever they want to go. But yeah, I think I'm gonna read a little bit more because I want to get through this book of the Bible in 3 streams if I can. So I gotta read a little more to be on pace. And just a heads up, I am very bad at pronouncing these names. Most of them I'm gonna pronounce wrong, but you still get the message. Numbers 13. 12 scouts explore Canaan. I felt that, Lamau. Definitely cried on stream before. Yeah, it was weird. I don't know why. It just like, I was perfectly happy. I chatted for like, I finished reading like a few chapters, I chatted and like just couldn't handle it and just cried. It was weird. I haven't cried on stream since, or ever. That was the only time. 12 scouts explore Canaan. The Lord now said to Moses, "Send out men to explore the land of Canaan, the land I'm giving to the Israelites. Send one leader from each of the 12 ancestral tribes." So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He sent out 12 men, all tribal leaders of Israel, from the camp in the wilderness of Paran. These were the tribes and the names of their leaders. And I don't read the charts, I just have them up if you want to scan them. These are the names of the men Moses sent out to explore the land. Moses called Hoshea, son of Nun, by the name of Joshua. Moses gave the men these instructions as he sent them out to explore the land. Go north through the Negev into the hill country. See what the land is like, and find out whether the people living there are strong or weak, few or many. See what kind of land they live in. Is it good or bad? Do their towns have walls, or are they unprotected like open camps? Is the soil fertile or poor? Are there many trees? Do your best to bring back samples of the crop you see. It happens to be the season of harvesting the first ripe grapes. So they went up and explored the land from the wilderness of Zin as far as Rehob, near Lebo Hamath. Going north, they passed through the Negev and arrived at Hebron, where Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, all descendants of Anak, lived. The ancient town of Hebron was founded 7 years before the Egyptian city of Zoan. When they came to the valley of Eshcol, they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes, so large that it took 2 of them to carry it on the pole between them. They also brought back samples of pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol, which means cluster, because of the clusters of grapes the Israelite men cut there. The scouting report. After exploring the land for 40 days, the men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to the whole community what they had seen and showed them the fruit they had taken from the land. This was their report to Moses. We entered the land you sent us to explore, and it is indeed a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the kind of fruit it produces. But the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. The Amalekites live in the Negev, and the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and along the Jordan Valley. But Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. "Let's go at once to take the land," he said. "We can certainly conquer it." But the other men who had explored the land with him disagreed. "We can't go up against them. They are stronger than we are." So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. "The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw were huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too." Oh, this chapter's long, so I think I might end it here. I know you just rated me, but I might end it here and just go to chatting instead of reading. You can't see it because chat's in the way, but like the bar that you scroll with is tiny. So I'm just gonna go back to this screen because it's easier on your eyes. Oh yeah. I had a question about where you wanted me to put the link for or where I talk about my stream in your Discord. So I just put it in general chat. I'm not sure if that's what you wanted. But yeah, that's what I did. This is probably one of the longest Bible reading streams I've done. Normally I stick around an hour to an hour 30. Recently I have been reading more and more each stream, like sometimes even 20 chapters. It's fine where it is? Okay, good. I'm just making sure. I don't want to like explode your general chat because I do try and do this every day. I try and do it as much as I can. Recently I've been slacking, I've been forgetting. But yeah, I don't want to just like fill your entire general chat with links to my Bible reading streams. And don't worry, I won't promote my pixel art streams in there. I'll just have the Bible ones. Because if I did include the pixel art ones, then it would be like double the amount of links. But yeah. Is there any questions you have about Christianity that I might be able to answer? I'm not an expert. I'm still new to Christianity myself, but I like to think I know a little bit. Oh, I gotta take my night medication soon. Yeah, sorry you just raided, but I think I actually do need to end stream because it's getting late for me and I need to take my medicine. I got a class tomorrow morning. But yeah, if there's anything you want me, like it could be anything you want me to pray about or anything. I'm willing to listen. It could even be like if like I don't know, you have a paper cut or something, you know? I can make a proper self-promo area, but self-promo is more than okay to me. I don't really have any questions, but I think this is a general good thing even for non-religious people. Don't even worry. Enjoy your night. Yeah. Something that shocked me was Cloudy, who popped in earlier, never mentioned anything about religion to me, but they just pop in and say like, can you pray for me because I got exams. So I like to think I'm doing something good. But yeah, I'm gonna end stream. There's no one I know who does this, so I'm not gonna raid anyone. I only know Pixel Artist anyway, and he's pretty loud and not the vibe for tonight, I feel like. But yeah, thanks for watching.